Boom.
Biddly 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 boat. Yes, yes, yo. Here we go. There ain't nobody down round here. You know what time it is. Get that badger. Oh shit. We're gonna have to delay the introduction, boys. And Bob and Mimi. Beers are in way. Get that badger. In and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. If you don't know by now, you never knew. I just need to sort something out on here right quick, boys and girls. Boys, Bob and Mimi, apologies. I've not put any of the info in the fucking chat. Oh, well, it'd be right, well, it'd be right. What's good, everybody? What's going on here? Technical problems. Issues. 'Cause I got issues. But don't you worry. We all got issues. That's the bloody daddy. 'Cause I got issues. Right, I'm here. Live chat replay. There we go. Sorted. Don't want you boys not being able to rewatch the live chat because it's I get comments immediately saying, "Where's the live chat? Where is the live chat? Where's live chatter? There's no point if I can't watch it back. I like watching it live, but there's no point if I can't watch it back with live chatter." Yes, we're here. That's blue cap on. We did have the red one on, but yes, War Piglet, what's good? What's been going on, Roger Slicker? What you saying? Legendary MVG, what's good? Brett in the building. Joe Depp. Is he using eyeliner now? Is that the levels we've gone to? We're on San Miguel today, boys. Bob and Mimi. Roller Blunt in the building. MVG. I'm in and on and over here, mate. What do we need this poll on, Brett? The Thunderclap AO. 78 RPM demands the badger. He gets the badger. Nobody do it how he does it. Wonderfully sculpted. It's just his nose, isn't it? Yes, Jules D. Yep, we can't stop, mate. Can't stop, won't stop. Both of us. I still think we're going to be close on points come end of the season. So the further you go, the more wins you get, the more wins I feel. The more wins I feel we're going to get. Yes, AO, smash a like for us, guys. It does help, genuinely, as you well know. It helps the algorithm and all that stuff. Luke in the building. Thursday beer session, chill chat. Good lad, love it, Lukey. Boy. Watched Once We Were Warriors. Thanks, Ina. Yeah, I have not watched it, but I've not had it. I'll watch it. I'll get round to it in a year. AO, giving Andy the love he needs and desires and deserves. Yes, Pat Dunn. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. How about a poll for tonight's secondary discussion on an 11? I'm proposing flopped after big money move. I'd just go straight. I'll do the poll, but I love the flopped after big money move idea. Geriatric. I can't even spell that. Or slaphead. Which 11? Flopped after big move. There's some belters in there, and then geriatric or slaphead. Nice one, Dr. Curus. You're on the health tip. On the health tipples. Pretty much, MVG. Yeah, I was some of the oh, I didn't put that one in, BMG. That's quite a good one as well. High work rate. We'll go with it, one of these two. I didn't get... Sometimes I sort of know... I know when the joke's ended. I just don't necessarily know where the joke was. But I know I know the joke has ended, but it's not... You know, and I'm not one to fake laugh, so I'm not going to just go like, hey, hey, hey. Oh, bollocks. Well, shall I change the poll, boys? Do you think Cole Palmer is actually going to the World Cup at this rate? Probably not, Steve Morrison, to be fair. No. We might entice a few Man U fans with the title tonight. I actually forgot what I'd called it. But there's something quite funny about him going to I've not seen that yet, BMG. I've been working. I've not been on my email. I will. I've got it though, because that email, I don't get many emails in that email, so it will be in there. I just don't check it every day. But yeah, it'll be in there. Appreciate you, BMG. We're going to start the videos next week, I think. Roger Slicker's always touching a nerve, isn't he? What's been going on? Cole Palmer off to Man City, that'd be a nice twist of fate, wouldn't it? It'd be funny. The only thing is about if Cole Palmer does end up going to Scum, I do think he's got the ability to actually change things around a little bit for him. I know they've been like, don't crest of a wave having beaten Man City the other day, but yes, Dr. Curious, that's all you need to do, mate. Then you can let your hair down, big lad. What's been going on, boys? Brolin. Bertels. Yes, Richard Todd, what's good? Yes, Mingy. What's happened, Roger Slicker? What's up? Paul can be flopped after big move. Geriatric slow head all work rate. Redo if you want. We'll redo it. Flopped after big moves. Smashed it in there. So we'll do flopped after big move. We'll do it again, hang on. Which 11? Flopped after big move. Or slab head. I spelt that wrong, but it doesn't matter. Let's keep moving. Or work rate 11. To Min getting the love he deserves. He's always himself, isn't he? Andy's the West Coast warlord. He's funny. Absolutely, BMG. Steve Morrison, I agree. Cole Palmer finds some form as he's as a player you'd want to go to World Cup in form, and I hope he doesn't go to Scum as I'm enjoying a scumless England. Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air. I was sick to back teeth when we were younger. It was hard to support England when it was just all new Man U players, wasn't it? It was horrible. I do think it's sort of evened out a little bit now ever since the class of '92 or whatever. Oh no, is that the snooker? Class of '92 or the class of '96 or something, I don't know. But regardless, in the '90s, when they all came through, it was just too much, wasn't it? Both Nevilles, even though one was relatively shit. Beckham, Scholes, I can't remember many more, to be fair, but they were all in there. Ferdinand used to play, didn't he? There were too many Man U players in there used to do maiden. Do we desperately need a left back? Thoughts, big man? Why, there ain't some injury news that I'm unaware of, is there? But I don't think so, do we, to be fair? I think it's a position we need to fill. I've not actually seen the press conference today. I've not seen presser, so let's have a look here. Gabby struggling after the last game with a bit of an abductor problem. Yeah, that is not good, is it? The good thing is we've got James Justin, haven't we? Richard Todd, who can play left and right, can't he? So, apart from that, everyone came through the Fulham game without any problems and is more or less good to go. Also, good news from our rehab department. Anton was today part integrated in team training, so no reaction so far. It looks like he could be available. Good news on Daniel James also yesterday and today. First time he was partly integrated into team training. He is also pretty close to joining us back in full team training. Of course, he was out for more than 2 months anyhow. So it'll be a bit until he gets ready for games, which is obvious and it makes sense. Yes, Arse Ripper. He's the bridge master, isn't he? He's the build, he builds the bridge to knock it down, doesn't he, Big Andy? Yes, indeed, War Piglet. I do fear they're going to turn a corner. I was enjoying Amarin's run at the helm, but yeah, I don't know. I won't read too much into it, to be fair. I think we've been quite good with injuries, haven't we, this year? Or in general, to be fair. Yeah, that's Man United, isn't it? But in class of 92 with O'Sullivan and Mark Williams and who else is in 92? There's a few of them. Is it Hendry? No, not Hendry. That guy that looks like my cousin. Oh, I can't believe I can't remember his name. He got done for cheating at one point. The only player I care about in the World Cup for England is our man DCL Gito, 78 RPM. Been mint if he got a last minute call up, wouldn't it? BMG Richard Todd, I don't think we need anyone else as long as we all stay fit. Left back is probably the biggest risk, followed closely by centre forward. I'm not sure whether we risk it. Yeah, James Justin can do a job. I know nobody likes to hear Byram's name ever since Voldemort said that he should never be offered a contract ever again, even though, we all knew in reality he'd get his contract as a backup to a backup, and if we end up needing him, he's not, he's not the answer long term, is he? But this season we do just need players that you also need players in the side, don't you, that we can play, or that are not. Nobody's ever going to be happy to be on bench, but you can have people sort of in the background, can't you? That don't start kicking out a stink when they're not getting minutes. And Byram's definitely that character. He must have been quite happy and relieved to have an opportunity to get another year and try and make most of it, really. Roger Slick, if I can voice my opinion, Nick Barmby was a repetitive flopper anywhere he went. He was seen in Winston's a few times. Why Nick Barmby? Why have you picked on Nick Barmby there for that? Let's get some more votes in this poll, guys. Let's do another 5 minutes. It's only got 18 votes. Get some votes whacked in. Geriatrics got 6%. Work rate's got 33 and flopped after big moves got 61%. We'll do 5 more minutes on it and then we'll get it going. Gabby, is it out for Monday, Jack? Yeah. Just read BMG. Yeah, it's not great. He's really integral to how we get forward as well, isn't he? It might mean Farker switches it up again with another one of his 16 formations. The real class of 92 is Leeds United. Yes, indeed. That was the year we got it done. Abductors are the new metatarsals. To be fair, though, you'd take an abductor, any abductor damage over a metatarsal, wouldn't you? Awful. Dr. Farker spoke well of the team spirit today. There has been a mint team spirit, hasn't there, War Piglet? We were on about it yesterday, funnily enough, to Mr. Whitesnake. Yeah, they've definitely got, there's a camaraderie, isn't there? And I don't normally use words like that, but I am quite proud of the team, of the players and stuff at the moment. We're in a really good space, aren't we? So, and I do feel like they're willing to muck in. And when the going did get a little bit tough, they didn't throw Dr. Farker under the bus. And he has created that culture. It is about creating short-term cultures at the club, innit, and not getting ahead of yourself, which Farker doesn't. Like he says himself all the time, he's never too high, he's never too low. You go high, he go, how low can you go type of thing. It can go low, but it never stays low. That's the thing. Brett, would you rather win the FA Cup, which qualifies you for the Europa League, and have a chance of winning it, or qualify for the Champions League, but there is nearly zero chance of winning it? It's a good question, Brett. I would rather win the FA Cup, get into Europa, and have a chance of winning it, than qualifying for Champions League and having zero chance of winning it. For the next few years, I'd rather that. Obviously, once you become a bigger team, you just want the mint days, don't you? And you just want to be playing against, I'm going to say AC Milan now, but it's not really AC Milan we're on about. They're no longer the force that they once were. But, teams like, just iconic teams. Some of them drop into Europa now, don't they, to be fair? There's some big teams in Europa in terms of prestigious clubs. But, no, I'd rather have a go at winning Europa League, really, if you've got a chance of winning it. But there's nothing better than Champions League nights, to be fair. But, you know, I remember we were in both when we were decent back in the day, when we had Viduka and Boyer and all them lot. We was in both, so we did Europa when I was real young, when Radaby scored that weird overhead kick on his back. I think that was against, like, Spartak Moscow or something. And then we got in Champions League. We did really well in that, didn't we? Obviously, it crumbled us in end. Or not the Champions League crumbled us, our league form crumbled us, but yeah. Farker said in the presser he was aware we lacked left-footed cover at left-back, not that a certain creator V credited him with that. Why, there's been some bickering going on. Dr. Firebeast, yes, Luke. Emma Oliver, loving this. Just want to say how delighted I am to see Farker doing well when backed in the Premier League. We ain't fucking Norwich. Farker for 13th place. Emma Oliver, gates up. Get some lights on for that, baby. Yes. Dong, 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 dong. Oh, we're gonna go blue tonight. Hey, yes, at the same time, Liverpool saw a rise in their homegrown talent too. Owen Fowler, Arranger. Who's Arranger? McManaman, wait, yeah. I used to actually like that team. I'm not ashamed to say it. I was a young kid. And I was delighted when Fowler signed for the club. I know he's sort of on his way out, but there's BMG asking who Arranger is. I don't know who Arranger is either, to be fair. Carragher, maybe? Justin can fill in at left back and maybe Byron could for one game. Should we recall Schmidt? Farker won't, but it's not a terrible idea. It depends how desperate you get. I don't think anybody ever really gets called in, to be honest, for called back from, from loan. It must be pretty rare, that. I don't think it's good for the player or the club or the players at the club, or, you know, it won't happen, but, you know, it's always in back of your head, isn't it, BMG? When you think we're struggling, you just think, well, there is somebody there, isn't there, you know? I mean, I think he's playing quite high, isn't he? Quite wide for Werder Bremen or wherever it is he's gone. I was looking the other day, because obviously we were linked with that Schmid. And I thought, I'm pretty sure they play for the same. I thought, is it the same guy? Yes, Peter White, what's good, big man? Shout out to Peter White. I feel like we've been fearing Scum will turn a corner for a decade now. That is 100% true, Steve, to be fair. It's every time they make a big signing. I mean, I've got over it now because they're just never doing it, but I'm back on the cusp of thinking like they might turn a corner. But it has been mental, hasn't it? And then they just collapse again, so hopefully they do. And to be honest, whenever they play against Man City, they've always got a chance against Man City. There's something in them, like... And it's not just the big derbies. I remember saying this years ago when I think Bellingham scored like a worldie and they got beat like in last minute. It must have been Michael Owen one maybe when he scored in last minute. And I remember being like, it's just, there's something behind like old school, you know, it's not like Man United have to be better than Man City. The sort of, there was so much better than Man City for so long. It's hard. I honestly think it's hard to shake that. It's just hard to shake. I don't know. It's a difficult thing to try and explain what I'm saying, because it's not like Everton and Liverpool, say for instance, that, or Liverpool and Man United, where, you know, Man United have been better, quite a bit better than Liverpool over my sort of lifetime, but not that much better. So when the Liverpool are playing in form and they're better, they're more likely to beat them. Same with Arsenal. Whereas with teams like Man City, I just think, you know, they've obviously been a lot of money pumped into it, but ultimately they don't have the history. And, you know, Man United turn up against Man City a lot, is my point. You never know where that game's going to go, is my point. Whereas if Everton, Liverpool, even though there's a big rivalry there, you can sort of guess where it's going. Like Leeds playing Bradford, innit? You'd expect us to win, whether we're in the Championship and they're in Premier League, or, do you know what I mean? Or vice versa, so... The Valve abductor strikes again. Yes, indeed. War Piglet. Don't get it going again. Did you mean Carragher, AO? Loan. Peter White getting the love he deserves. Recall Schmidt. I'd rather pay Byram or Cairns. 78 RPM's not having it. So who's the loan? Arranger. Timmy Leeds, yes, big man, what's good? So if plan A is 4-3-3 and plan B was 3-5-2, then plan B turned into plan A. 4-3-3 doesn't work as plan B, except against Liverpool. Love it, Timmy Leeds. That's a throwback, mate. Appreciate you, brother. It's true, though, isn't it, man? You got to go back to plan A. You got to find out that plan A only works when it's plan B. And then you turn back around to original plan A that's now become basically plan C because you're starting on B. So you can't go back to A, so you go to C. That would be an emergency, wouldn't it, BMG? Yeah. I mean, he's not too bad, to be fair, but it's just getting forward. And he is, you know, might need to bring Jack Harrison back yet. I wouldn't want to do that unless it's a 4-3-3, really, though, I don't think. As long as James Justin's fit and we've got Bogle, we're all right. Backup to a backup is what Gruev should be for me. That harsh. I think in time. I mean, I think Gruev's been really good past few weeks, but I think in time, you know, he's not. I don't think he's going to be at the club long term. We're at that stage, hopefully, where, you know, if we can keep building, it's just improvement upon improvement, isn't it? That's what I was basically saying to, I think it was Lloyd the other week. There's not. If a player comes up who's better than the player you've got, you just upgrade in that position, don't you? I could only really say, other than the goalkeeper being world class, we don't really have a world class player, do we? So you'd always upgrade anywhere other than the goalkeeper. So even, you know, I love Ampadu, and I think you'd actually have a job on getting someone that sort of understands the club and is a better captain than Ampadu. But, you know, if you upgraded on Ampadu, it's an upgrade. You'd move Ampadu, wouldn't you, into another position, or you'd work. Then we're not looking for a replacement for Ampadu, but if for some reason Rodri wants to sign, you bring Rodri in, don't you? So it's not, and I know that's an extreme case. I just mean like across the whole pitch, you know, it's across the 11. And then even the subs, like you're saying, if he's a backup to a backup, I agree to some extent, Steve. But when Ampadu's not in there, or if we are sort of sitting with the two, I do think he's better in that role than Tanaka would be. And I know nobody likes to hear that, but he's better in that 6 or the 4, whatever you want to call it. Probably people call it 6, but he really does sit. Him and Ampadu are minting there, and Tanaka's minting there. But when we're up against it, you know, against Arsenal, it'll probably be Ampadu and Gruev, for instance, won't it? So, Richard Todd, agree, Jack, on Justin cover. The Swiss Army knife. But he has been playing centre back. Yes, indeed, he's got it covered across that entire line, hasn't he? Really, but I do think when we play 3 at back, it gives him a bit. I mean, you wouldn't want him centre back in a 4, would you? No one uses words like camaraderie. I couldn't say it, but I can't spell it. I can definitely try and say it. Steve Morrison, very harsh. Gruev is super underrated. Watch him off the ball, how he covers runs and cuts off passing lanes. No coincidence he played a lot in this good run. He is useful. He definitely is. I've got no problem with him being in starting lineup, to be honest. So, yes, JT, smash them like for us, guys. I much appreciate it. We're on 36 likes. We've got 65 in the room. So we can definitely get them likes up. It'd be much appreciated. And we can start, I believe, the poll, although it has got close. But it's on 30 votes. Let's get the poll going. So I want to give it plenty of time. 50% on flopped after big move. Is there any last minute votes here before I whack it in? One more vote. It's nearly a fucking dead tie. I'm calling it here, boys. Bosh. Flopped after big move, BMG. Let's make it happen. Jack, who's your biggest questionable Leeds player in terms of they must radically improve? Perry. Perry. If we get another player or two, we stay up. If we don't, we stay up. So I'm pretty chilled. Love it, 78 RPM. I didn't know where you were going with that initially, but yeah, I agree, big man. We're staying up. The Whites are staying up. We got 5 likes out of that, guys. So we're on 70 in the room. If we could get some more likes, it'd be much appreciated. I can't remember what was said, to be fair, Ming. Apologies. Our best squad in over 20 years, surely, although that's actually a high bar. I think if we stay up, you'd have to say really. I think we're stronger. I think we're stronger now than we were in Bielsa days, like in terms of a squad. You struggle. I mean, we just need a bit of sprinkles, don't we? If we get some sprinkles, if that Bornetta for some reason turns, if he does what, if he does what he did at Leicester in a season, if he does it for the rest of the season, we just need little bits like that, don't we? And then you never know where. I probably do agree, yeah, because you can't monitor it in Championship and stuff. It's not the same, is it? We've had some good teams, but I don't think the Rodrigo team was particularly good. I know Rafinha was brilliant. Yeah, I think we're in a pretty good place. Ayo, yes, Farker needs to get his head out of his ass. It's not about Farker wanting small teams to control team spirit. It's about we need depth so we can rotate, rest, and have backup players. Wait for it. Is that your controversial? And that's your controversial comment of the day, and you know it, Ayo. That's not fair though, Ayo. To be fair, he's rotated every player. He's got minutes out of every signing we've had. I've been an advocate from the start of the season that we didn't have a bad window, and then it's even better now. So it's come to fruition that every player's getting minutes. Yes, Mimi, what's good? Badgers unite. Appreciate you, Mimi. Bob and Mimi, boys. Bob and Mimi. Does Dr. Farker play him? For Kundu. I think there might be a little bit of a way. It depends really. We're not that strong on bench, are we? So I think he'll get minutes. Yeah, I do actually. I think he'll get stuck on. It also depends, obviously, what happens within the game. I know that's blatantly obvious, but, because there is Nonto and stuff who deserves minutes and has done well for us. Obviously, Harrison's gone, and I know he hasn't been playing, but that means my point is there basically definitely makes the bench, doesn't he? He was on the bench at the weekend, so he's been guaranteed game time, game day time. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to get left off the bench, is he? So clever gag from Mingy. Shouldn't expect talk less. BMG. Mimi getting the lush she deserves. Emma Oliver, I can't wait for the summer when we're building our squad for a second Premier League season and building a new stadium. Happy days. It's going to be mental, Emma. Let's get to safety first. Everybody has a go at me for looking into the future and getting excited. But, we've had a good window, a solid window. I don't think we'll lose anybody, will we? That we don't want to lose because we've not gone, we've not got a Rafinha or whatever that somebody's going to come and snap his hand off. I think we'll sell a couple of players because we'll have to, but it'll be extremely interesting to see who we bring in summer if we do stay up. It's also, it's the most important part of football, isn't it? What is it? I can't remember what it's recruitment. It's extremely important. So yeah, 78 RPM. The FA Cup alone is a massive trophy for Leeds United. Let's be realistic here. I agree. 78 RPM. That's why I'm one of the only people in fucking world that want to go and try and win something. Einar vibes in there. He's being the wings, right? Einar. I see it though that Ampadu and Stack are starting DMs. Longstaff is competing with them and Gruev is after them. I don't think Stack is in the DM though, is he? He's not played in there once yet, so it's Ampadu that holds and then the two in front. Because even when we go, 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, however you want to sort of work it, it depends, what the formation, how the formation works. But it's been Aronson and Stack's played further forward, significantly further forward. This idea that it never goes into 4-3-3 even in that formation is not true. Because if Goodmanson's gone forward or if Bogle's gone forward, there's four at the back. Somebody holds or Gruev, if Gruev's playing, he can sit in. There's been times when Rodon's gone in the 5, he's gone forward, and Bogle's stayed, and Ampadu's come in to make the 4. So it's just important who's the one, galloping forward, the person breaking forward. Ampadu always is there to sort of cover, but Stack is quite consistently further forward. Well, always, to be fair. And they can work as a 3. I mean, there's times, less so when Calvert-Lewin's on the pitch, but if it's Metro and stuff, there's times when Stack's further forward than the centre forward. Even with DCL, it's just obviously DCL is the target man, so it makes sense for him to occupy both centre-backs. But there's been times when Aronson's further forward than him, like furthest person forward on pitch, so it was Carragher. We've got you. He's in the wings. He'll be in the wings. Goodmanson out for Monday, then knee-jerkers want an urgent left-back replacement. Roger Slicker. You love a replacement though, Roger Slicker, so let's not get it twisted, big man. The Lord of Lurking has a nice ring to it. The lurkiest lurker that ever lurked. The lurking man. Gruev ain't first choice, but when called on, he's done well against players that cost 20 times what he did. That is a fair shout. He's been, you know, a lot of people didn't think he'd make the step up whatsoever. And he's just really he's a proper workman, isn't he? And he does read the game well. And he's not bad on ball. He's like, not that he would be bad on ball. He's never been bad on ball, but I just mean he's not going to create or you know, I mean, I'm going to say score a worldie, but, you know, he scored a pretty mint goal for us in, was that in the playoffs? I can't remember. He scored that free kick, didn't he, from edge of box. So many games over the past few years. And I know there's always games, but it just feels like there's been, I think it's when there's a buzz about the club, isn't it? And we were doing so well in Championship twice, so then games just feel like, it feels like every 2 days you're playing in Championship, doesn't it? And then in Premier League, you get so excited about games, and then we've played so well in so many of them that, you know, we're proper on a roll, so. Yes, Jules D. I was always in Farker's corner when there was all the out noise, but surely everyone knows that there needs to be a statue of Farker and Bielsa behind double I-5 in like the Eiffel Tower. Maybe go easy on the Eiffel Tower, Jules D, just in case anybody gets any ideas to get the Badger in the middle of it. But I'd love an handshake. I saw a video of Bielsa today, actually, that had, and he's in an interview, obviously. He doesn't talk if he's not in an interview. And it was really funny. He's on about a player that sat next to him. It was really genuinely funny, but can't be arsed talking about it too much. The Silent Badger, yes, Mimi, that is, that's Enar in the wings, the Silent Badger. There has been plenty spoke about a left. Oh, apologies, guys. Not been spoke about a left back and the BMG. You know, Roger Slicker's just on the wind up. Whenever Roger Slicker says something like a knee jerker, you know he's on wind up. I've got hiccups, guys. Enar's got more nicknames than Wu-Tang. I agree, MVG. That Badger can feel his presence. Gates up. Easy crazy. Brett, do all you Leeds lot think DCL has a realistic chance to make the World Cup, or do you just see Tuchel overlooking Leeds' pace? I do not mean any disrespect. I don't think he's going to get in the... We're in with the overpriced BMG. Not overpriced. They're paid big money for and flopped. I don't think he's got a chance, Brett. No, if I'm honest. He hadn't scored for a few. It had to carry on like that for like 10 games, really. You know, he had to get to 10 for him to have a realistic look at it. I'm not saying he ain't got a chance, but I don't think he's. I'd be very surprised if he went. Yeah. What's everybody else think? I'll pull that up. Actually, that's a good poll. Realistically. Fucking hell, I can never spell when I'm under pressure. The reality is you can't spell. Realistically, can DCL make the World Cup? I'm going to capitalise that R just to really get this professional outlook going on. Andy, we desperately need cover for DCL and Metcha too. I think we're all right up top. DCL keeping him fit is so important, but bringing in the right person, again, you know, there's no point bringing someone in to end the season unless it's on loan. I'd have taken Callum Wilson, to be fair, on loan or whatever, on a free or whatever we're going on with him. I can't remember off the top of my head now, but Remember Oliver de Cor, what a player, one of my favourites from way back when. Yeah, my brother John's favourite footballer, I believe, at the time at Leeds. I could be wrong though, he often lies to me. That is true, Mimi, yes indeed. Too early to say. Let's leave discussion nearer to the time, says Roger Slick. He's been very, very diplomatic and very thoughtful there, Roger Slick. You've turned the corner that we thought, man, you were going to turn. JackCity relegated, nearly 12 months of 115 charges. If Leeds, we'd already be in Division 4. That's because we wouldn't be able to throw as much money about as Man City are. But in fairness to Man City, Man 115 City, it doesn't matter how many charges there are, does it? If none of them are, if they can't get them on any of them, then it doesn't matter if there's 550. It's just all designed to make them look even worse, innit? 115 charges. Even people in media have admitted a lot of the charges are like phony and like combined with other charges and stuff. And I like Man City on the basis that I don't like Man United, and when they were beating them to league and stuff, I was delighted. So, but I don't really care about them. You know, if something's happened to them, I couldn't really care less. But yeah, I think that's a boosted number. I think they're mad at them. I think there's or they want some money off them, which is probably even more likely. I wouldn't say desperately, but centre forward, yeah. I agree. I don't want to downplay. I don't want anybody giving me shit thinking that I wouldn't take a centre forward, and that I think Metcha's the answer to all questions. Even though I do. Like Matt Leeds said, you know, he has clutch moments, and he does. Hey up, Chiava. Pretty boy Peter Barnes got to be up there. Peter Barnes. Hard style images. Let's have it. How much was he paid for? I've no idea, to be fair. Need to know. If you don't know by now, you never knew. I don't know, Mimi. The Lord of Lurking doesn't sound great. It sounds so great. If we were ever called character witnesses. Yeah, you'd maybe, yeah, if he's got, you know, one charge, it doesn't have to be 115. If he's one charge and you go, well, what, have you got any nicknames? And you go, well, he's the Lord of Lurking. And I'm sure you can all make your own charges up at that point. I'm certainly not going to bring Enar into that because it's unnecessary. For me, says Steve Morrison, I don't know whether that's related to something earlier that we were speaking about, or I'm not sure. Brett, I hope DCL stays away from England team. We need DCL fit for as long as possible. I won't care. To be fair, I'd like it if he got an England team just for him. I can't help but like the bloke. Number one, number two. I think it's better. I'll actually watch. I'll enjoy watching England if he's in them friendlies and stuff in international break. I'll more like to watch him because the very best I can just have him in corner of my eye. I don't really care, to be fair. I'm confused. Boost Leeds' profile. It depends if he got any. I mean, if he got a goal in fine or something, you won't. I can't tell you how much he'd be up for that, but recall Wobber to cover left back. Can you imagine Andrew Thompson? I didn't actually think in the Championship he were bad at left back. He were proper bombing forward. Yes, annoyed Panther. What's good, mate? Oh, here we go. For me, Plan A, Leeds are a good team. Plan B, England are a good team. Plan C, Yorkshire Cricket are a good team. Plan D, fuck it, think about travel instead. Agreed, Steve Morrison, apart from the Yorkshire Cricket bit. But I'm more than happy for Yorkshire Cricket to be decent. I just never know about it unless somebody told me. But yeah, Leeds all day first for me. I can't help it. He'll never get his knee back, Wobber, will he? We need him in and over here, don't we, Ayo, to be fair. There's no messing about. How's that poll got? 38 votes, 58% saying realistically he can make it. So it's neck and neck, really. 51 likes up in this bitch, guys. Let's get some likes up. We're on 70 people in the room. Smash a like for us, guys. It proper helps. Possibly controversial, but if we stay up, is it worth selling Tanaka and Nonto so we can get PSR headroom and rebuild? I like both, but we can make profit on both. There's been quite a lot of talk about Tanaka on the BMG in general. This idea that he's not happy with his amount of minutes and stuff, and I'm not too sure I can read too much into that, to be honest. We'll have to get rid of some players. We will have to get rid of some. So, I mean, it'd be harsh on Nonto as well, really. And Nonto's quite a good prospect for us. Because I am Nonto over Okafor at the moment, really. But while ever we're winning, it don't really matter who's playing, does it? So, Wobber must have heard we were talking about him, says Joe Depp. The silent badger. Sounds like our secret weapon, a real badass mofo. Yeah, but in court, you don't want to come across like a badass mofo, do you? Unless you've got people on the jury. If we're in the jury, it's fine. Don't love anyone apart from Rodon, Ampadu and DCL. The rest are all disposable within our next 3 years, and I don't care. Add a keeper to that spine in the summer, please. Yeah, Rodon, Ampadu, DCL. I can't help but love Longstaff, he's my best mate. I think Stack's been absolutely brilliant, to be fair, and he's had a bit of a rough patch as well, and he's come through. That's what I mean about the professionalism of them. So he'll go down with won't he, Wobber? Flops it is then. Start the bidding with Birtles. Brolin, they're coming in thick and fast here. Jack Rodwell. Steve Sidwell I'd go with as well. Fernando Torres to Chelsea's huge money. Flop. Can't remember how much he's paid for Steve Sidwell, actually. So maybe that's not right. Maybe that's a bit harsh. But Steve Sidwell always sticks out at me, thinking he could get in that Chelsea side. Just being like, dear Lord. Di Maria, the Man United paid a lot for them, didn't he? Okafor must radically improve, Roger, in my honest opinion. Yeah, he's not doing enough, is he, to be fair? Brendan Aronson, Weston McKennie, Adams all shocking when they came, flops a lot of them. I mean, Brendan Aronson's been brilliant, but Weston McKennie, he got him on loan, didn't he? So he's not a big money move. It's got to be big money and then flop. Adams, how much did we pay for Adams, though? And he wasn't shocking, he was just injury prone, wasn't he? But I think we've got different views on most players, JT, but we love you up in this bitch. Oh, yes, Southie, cheers, dude. Hi, Jack, hope all's well. His team want to win. Great camaraderie now. So, some hard games coming up, but I'm positive. Match on together. Love it, Southie. The only worry is about being positive is we want going into the December when we had all the horrendous fixtures. We wasn't positive about that, and positivity came out of it. And now, we're in a position where it's like, well, got Arsenal in a couple of weeks. I think we'll struggle to beat Arsenal just because of how boring they are. Because I honestly don't think they're even that good, and I get so much shit for saying that, but just in daily life, not daily life, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I just think that they're just going to plod the way while winning loads of games, don't get me wrong. But nobody's particularly at them, and you've only got to put a bit of pressure on Arsenal and their ass falls out. If West Ham wins Saturday, will the pressure be on Monday night? 5 points difference. Agent Ancelotti. We've just got to focus on our own results, haven't we? It's the most boring thing to say. But we won. We beat Fulham. West Ham obviously beat Spurs. Everybody panicked about it, saying, well, West Ham, it's not points gained. It's like, well, it is. Because we beat Fulham in last minute. We'd be in a different position if we didn't. So it's just about winning our games, picking up points. If we keep drawing and winning, we'll be all right. Whether it's West Ham, whether it's Forest, whether it's Bournemouth, whoever gets dragged into it. Yeah. Brolin's in. Rodwell, don't know, but I don't know how much they paid for Rodwell. Because it's got to be big money, hasn't it? I don't I don't want to get behind on comments. If somebody can find out how much they paid for him, and I mean, it's saying here worst history in football, which is brutal. How old is he though? 12 million they paid for him. I suppose, does it matter? 12 million's, I don't know. It does sort of matter, doesn't it? Big money, big flop. I thought we were going with. It depends if we get a decent price for Tanaka and Nonto, as teams will look to pay as little as possible for 50 million. They're not 50 million though. Tanaka's not a 50 million pound player. You can't. That's going to be a controversial. That's going to be controversial. Yes, MVG. Forlan again. I don't know how much they paid, but they will have done. Veron they paid silly money for a flop. Di Maria. Definitely, Di Maria they'll have paid a lot for. How much did they pay for that Hoyland, who I think, got probably a bit of a bad rap due to it all, but they'll have paid a lot for him. As I say, Fernando Torres to Chelsea, even though he went at Liverpool. I mean, he got that goal against Barcelona at last minute, didn't he? But Torres did. Big money flops. We need to think like goalkeepers as well, don't we? Perry. The Wanderer returns, Southey. JAK, we paid enough for him, man. Literally. I actually think that's a good shout, JT, because, I think he's still taking money off at club, which is a mental thing to consider. Tanaka, I really hope we don't sell. Nonto, I'd rather keep. Sell Okafor instead if possible. But would be good to get over him. But would we be able to get over him? I'd keep Nonto, genuinely. I don't know how much money had come in for him. But I actually think Nonto's got a really high ceiling. I think he gets quite a bit of shit, to be honest. And I think fan base can jump on him a little bit, because I don't think he had the best season of his life in Championship last season, but I still think he's really useful. Depends how much money comes in for certain players, doesn't it? If a big, if 30 million came in for Nonto, you'd struggle to not. You struggle to go, you just go, well, fuck it then. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'll move on with that money. But, 20 million, you're getting there. You're still thinking you'll take that. But when it gets to like 15 million, 12 million, it's like, I don't know. Depends what you can do with it, doesn't it? I popped in and out a few, but these are my main ones and the only ones I'm members of. I appreciate you, Brett. You're a legend, mate. Adams was actually decent for us until his injury. I agree, BMG, yeah. JK was shocking and so overpriced. We paid a fortune for him. I'd love to add Cantona to that list. Alas. JT, that's the thing. Once he got injured, never got back and wanted to leave. He's a dickhead, yeah. There's no doubt about that. But he's in there, isn't he, BMG? JK is in there. Sancho. You could fill Man United's team, couldn't you? Sanchez is in there, isn't he? And Sanchez were mint at Arsenal and he's shit there. You could put Sancho in a few clubs, couldn't you? I'm trying to think of like Man City. They've signed some big players, haven't they? Is Phillips enough of a flop? Phillips, is that harsh? But he literally hadn't played a minute, and they paid best part of 30 million for him, didn't they? I mean, he'd have to go down as a flop, really. I mean, it's a career ender, innit? But obviously good for us. But that's the essence of a flop, innit? What we could do as well one week, BMG, is like the reverse of this. So like players that sort of got wrote off, went to a lower club and come back. Like Kevin De Bruyne and Salah. who had to go away to create the career. Like Sancho, who then ends up in both. Also popping on Tartan Gio, West Ham, 12th man, and the odd Sunderland one. I'd be up for getting some of these on, you know, Brett. I don't really know. I don't follow. I don't believe it or not, I don't actually follow anyone like from other teams or in general, to be fair. So I don't really know what's going on, but I'd be up for getting some of them on before, or going on theirs or whatever. You know, I'm not trying to get it all over here. But, you know, before we play West Ham, say, or Sunderland or whatever, it'd be good to get... Sorry, Badger. It'd be good to get people on to chat about it. Thank heavens for all the scum high money flops. It's been sensational, hasn't it, Ming? There'll be a few managers in there as well, isn't? So you haven't stepped in and out of Just Joe's yet? Is that to me, Brett? Or Brett? Pogba? I mean, I suppose Pogba had some decent moments from there, didn't it? Like, I mean, Di Maria actually started well. Team full of scummers. I won't begrudge it though, MVG, to be honest. Yes, at BMG. Okafor disappointing, don't you think? Yeah, I think he started all right. I think he's shown like little flashes and that. I think he fucks about a bit too much on ball for me, but he's sort of done that less actually the last couple of months. And he gets it, he's right, but he still gets it, he's right back. He's still full of confidence, and you feel like you might get little bits out of him in games. It's still exciting when he starts to some extent. Yeah. We're very good at signing relatively modest players who turn out to be very good, but we need to show we can sign a hot player who others want. Steve Morrison. I agree, big man. That's what I mean about the special sauce, the sprinkles on top. You know, when you got to 99 guy and he says like, "Do you want sprinkles on?" It's like, do you want the strawberry sauce or whatever? It's like, yes, I do, mate, because this is brilliant and I'm gonna really enjoy this. But I feel like I'm getting the sprinkles on top and the strawberry sauce for free. And that is going to make the outside of the ice cream just a little bit different from the inside. And I'm going to enjoy it. Jack, me and you are going to have words. I'm here too. I appreciate you, Julie Neri. Do not fear. You got to keep them comments up in this bitch though, don't you? 55 likes, guys. 65 in room. And I know we're on that rotisserie, so smashes a like. Okafor started well, but tailed off. I agree, JT. Yeah, his main performance really that Wolves game, wasn't it? But he got that mint challenge against Chelsea. He's not had his own little moments. Yeah. BMG, I'm convinced if Adams stayed fit, Leeds wouldn't have been relegated, says Roger Slicker. Billion. Well, they can put the stadium against stuff, can't they? There's plenty of money there, man. They don't. That goes into different, like, building things. Like, they do it with youth. That's why Man City put loads of money into youth facilities, and they build all 5G pitches all around Gaff and that, because they can offset that against the payments, so they can basically spend more money in transfers. So because it's the upkeep of the community. They put pumping money into community basically. Man City have done it literally ever since Saudis come in. This hood's getting on my fucking nerves a bit, boys. Pogba did Maria. I quite like did Maria. Forlan, Verona, Sanchez, Sancho, all good shouts. I agree. Robert Blanche that used to play centre back. Did they pay or did they get him for free? I just know he were old and he were meant to be mint, and he came and he was shit. He were like not ready for it whatsoever. Einar in the wings. Get up, Einar. Einar the lurker. Alexis Sanchez is the all-time flopper, yes. Oh, Nana. What's his name? Get him in net. Easy crazy. There's been a few that's gone, and then they've, I mean, Ian Rush came to Leeds and he was shit, wasn't he? And again, I don't know how much we paid for Ian Rush, but I remember being young and like being like, oh, Ian Rush is shit. And my brother was like, well, he is to you, but obviously my brother's 5, 6, 7 years older than me, so he sort of saw Ian Rush not in his heyday, because my brother's probably not at that age for the heyday, but he saw like the good bit. But then as my memory started to actually develop, I was like, who's this guy that got 2 goals for us in like 50 games or whatever it was? It's probably exaggerated, but 5-3-2 is plan D, Jules D. You know it, mate. It's 5-3-2 is the Jules D. We might have stayed up if Adams was fit. I can't see it, man. Fucking he now getting the love he deserves. Wiki, 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 wiki. Yes, Steve Morrison, evening. I've been speaking to you all night. Even at the best of times, I never trusted Otto's recruitment. I'm trusting the 49ers recruitment for far more. I agree, Steve. Yeah, it's a much more stable ship in it. I actually think Otto's time at the club gets a little bit lambasted, to be honest. He made some unbelievable signings, didn't he? But I think his head was too in the clouds with it, wasn't it? And he was looking for the, I don't know, like the stableness of our current recruitment system seems to be a lot more stable. Whereas Orta's was, I'll get Rafinha, but I'll also get, Mark Rocker or whoever else. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even having to go at Mark Rocker. I don't know where he came from, but just there was so many bad ones. But he got Rafinha, so I don't know. It's like, that's kind of how he was, wasn't it? It was just a bit mental. Do you guys remember when Forlan scored, took his shirt off, didn't have time to put it on, and ran around shirtless for 5 minutes? Yes, I do actually, BMG. Yeah, I can't remember who that is against, but I do remember that because he scored about 3 goals in however many games. I mean, Forlan was actually mint again, wasn't he, when he went to Atletico or something, did he? And he was brilliant. He's always been good in World Cups and stuff, hasn't he? But MVG's not having none of it. 78 RPM. What good is a bigger squad? Only gives wimps more to cry about. Large is on loan. Tanaka and Woolley are not getting enough minutes. Ha ha. Only one governor and it's far. Cannot cry, babies. Gets up 78 RPM. You need that camaraderie. Was the world I ballsed up? Yeah, camaraderie. That's what you need, Southie. And that's what Dr. Farker's bringing to the helm. There ain't no doubt about it. Enar don't matter. He's in the wings anyway. Gruev hit the bar with a worldly free kick in the 3-3 Pompey game. Yes, indeed. But he scored like one of them cross shots. I'm pretty sure that were in playoffs. Is that how far behind I am? Easy Crazy started another cipher in the playground. Floats your go. I actually prefer floats your go, maybe. My brother-in-law doesn't rate Gruev and he thinks he's winding me up. Constantly reminded me of that. Yeah. There's plenty of people on wind up, to be fair, Steve. Yeah. Goat flirting. What are the rules if you wear 2 shirts and take one off? Do you still receive a yellow card? I don't know. It's an interesting flex, isn't it, that, Roger? I'd have to argue no. You don't get your booking. You just, Although I bet you're not allowed to wear 2 shirts. Enar Dadu. Steve Daly on the first big money flops. Steve Daly, how much? See, it's hard for me to know this because how much was spent, do you know what I mean? 'Cause it's 1.4375 million in 1979. So that is a big money move, isn't it? That's a huge money move. Just knock the chain off. Ming's loving it. Enaz just sent me something on Twitter, which I'll catch up on comments and I'll get stuck in. Straight red, no messing. He was the second 1 mil player, was he? You know it, BMG. Luke knows what day it is. I don't know if Smarty. Why was he not on the... I don't really know what we're discussing other than the nickname. Smarty's a good lad. Played centre mid against him, didn't I, in that charity match? 78 RPM. If DCL gets 18 plus goals, he will be in the initial large squad at least. If he gets 18 goals, he has to go, doesn't he? 78 RPM, that's a madness. Has Mr. Whitesnake been in yet? No, not yet. He's I think he's had enough of me from last night. And a 5-game ban. BMG ain't messing about with this double shirt nonsense. His big money move, a relative measure, Luke Murphy, was 1 million. A lot to us at the time and was certainly a flop. Yeah, I think we could definitely open it up, MVG. Watkins a better player than DCL? I'm not sure about that, JT, to be fair. I don't think Watkins has even achieved as much as DCL, really. We can definitely open it up, I reckon, MVG, to players, you know, because it's like, say, it's relative to where you're at, innit? And you could be, you know, in Conference League and spend 250,000 on somebody, and people would be like shit their bed. And if he's not banging in 50 goals and getting a move to a Championship side, then he's a flop, innit? So it'll be Kane, Watkins, and Foden as false 9, unless Watkins just remains stinking all season. He's had a bit of a good patch, hasn't he? But I've not looked in past it. I don't know. I know he scored a couple of goals in a couple of games a few weeks ago. To be fair, that when DCL were banging goals in as well, so maybe they're just in. Maybe he only turns up when DCL does. Oh, thank you, not Mama Mimi, just original Mimi. Oh, Mimi, fucking hell. Mimi Junior. Good work, Mimi, says Mingy, and then she follows it up with another, so I appreciate you, Mimi. And shout out to Roller Blood as well, as I know you come in twos. Or together. Come together, it sounds wrong. If DCL and Nemecha are out, we will be a lot less effective, but it will be hard to sign a suitable deputy, like that, now that Wilson is staying put. That's why JSL makes sense, even if he's not long-term answer. Larson. Hendrick. Oh, Mimi striking again there with 3, tripling it up here, Mimi. Is this I don't know if this is an error online here. It could be an error online. 59 votes. DCL's got 59%, got a realistic chance of playing in the World Cup. Which is pretty good going, to be fair. Mimi taking up the chat with one at a time, and you know it, JT. Oh, don't be putting it in, Mimi. Keep your £9, my dear. Do not be doing that. Payday tomorrow, is it? I got paid bi-weekly now. It's fucking mint every 2 weeks. I love it now. I find it hard to comprehend John Barnes went to a rugby playing school between the ages of 12 and 16. This is why we love you, Roger Slicker, because how your mind works. I don't know whether you like reading a book or something of like random football facts, or randomly I thought she must be on the phone. I thought somebody burst into the house and she freaked me out. Just not your problem, mate. The gossiping downstairs. Oh, Mingy up in this bitch. Appreciate you, Ming. Nobody do it how he does it. Jack admitted last night he doesn't use any of the donations we make. I think he's saving up for a yacht. I'm not saving up for a yacht, MVG, no, but I try. It's because you can't. You have to like release it at a certain point. So I just let it do its thing. What I'm gonna do with it is it because I'm gonna upgrade the channel. So I'm gonna buy like a camera. I mean, it won't. It's not going to be an expensive camera. You know, I don't make that much money. We never upgrade the badger because the channel can't afford it. But we're going to do the room up a bit. So I'm going to, you know, yeah, I'm going to sort some stuff out with it. So I do appreciate every which one of you, as you well know. BMG, the challenge is getting a centre forward who is good enough but happy to be second or third choice and not too pricey. That is the hardest thing. To be honest, it's rock hard. The only thing is you've got with DCL is you can sort of like, you can push on the injury prone thing where people actually think they'll get an opportunity to play. Because Metcha must have come here and thought, well, until they sign someone, like, why aren't I the centre forward? You know, he has come here to be... I know that we said we'd keep moving and there'd be more in the door. But Metcha's, you know, signed to start, didn't he? And then obviously Calvert-Lewin came in and he thought, right, here's my competition. But he'll probably backed himself over Peru. Perisley. I lean towards thinking Metcha's shit. Then, as you say, as clutch moment. I like him, Steve, for exactly what he is. Do you know what I mean? Again, you know, I think he's really good. I think we should go with him a little bit more. I don't know, because I'm like, this is what I mean about how malleable the formation is. So there's times when Okafor is in behind DCL and Metcha is far better at that, and Aronson's far better at that, and Stack's far better than that in that position when he is in and around DCL than Okafor. But Okafor, when we're on the ball, does tend to go... When I say on the ball, obviously we're on the ball when DCL's on the ball, but I'm talking about pumping it forward. We're sort of like just getting in and around, you know, Aronson and Okafor or Aronson and Stack or whoever's on the pitch will get around DCL at that moment. And when that's Metcha's mint. But when we play Metcha and we're not on the ball, or we're actually on the ball trying to create a move rather than pumping it forward, we need Okafor wide, and Metcha's not as good at that. So, and I was actually one of the ones calling for Metcha to be that he can play wide, and I'm not sure he can in this system, to be honest. I think he can in a 4-3, in just a 4-3-3, like start of the season. I think he probably can, but we're not really doing that now. So, best way, Mimi, cash is king, so they say, innit? Peter Barnes, not a bad shout, says BMG. A bodyguard to protect him against those Lithuanian Burt Reynolds impersonators. Must need MVG. It'd probably only be to pay about a week's worth of one person's wage and then I'd be done. But thanks for the membership, says All Leeds Outwith TV. Appreciate you, big man. Appreciate Mimi. $40 million is... Kepa is a flop keeper, at least for a while. Well, they paid silly money for Kepa, didn't they? And what did they pay for Kepa? Because where's he gone now? 72 million. Kepa's in there. That's fucking wild. I mean, he's not actually been... I don't know where he's gone now, but he's not actually that bad now, is he? Is he still at Arsenal? Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, because he went to Arsenal. That's a flop for me. But I'm pretty sure, did he play at Arsenal? Did he get a fair few games in it? I thought he went somewhere after Chelsea and got some games. Bournemouth. On loan, 31 games he played, yeah, and he were half decent. And then he went to Arsenal, yeah. Yeah, they signed him, yeah. I mean, I'd take Kepa, to be fair, though, big man. Yes, JT, appreciate you, brother. Smash a like for us, guys. 66 likes. If we can get to 100 by end at night, would be there'd be some good numbers for us. A new striker would start in a 2 with DCL. Can you imagine? Yes, I mentioned those pesky Ukrainians last night, MVG. You know it. Mimi, appreciate you. England's number 9. England's number 9. Love it, big man. Yeets up. Staying on the Man United train, De Gea was also a big flop in the beginning, at least. He came good though, didn't he? But they didn't. I thought didn't they get De Gea? Wasn't he through I don't know if he was through youth system, but I don't think he was expensive, was he? I can't look that up because I'm going to get too far behind. I'm already behind. They knock late at night with wardrobes. Unsure. Peter Barnes wasn't John Barnes' brother, contrary to popular belief. There's Roger Slicker. He's just putting that out there. I don't want DCL at World Cup. We have kept him fit. Our medical team needs their flowers, but no way. I hope he stays away. You just got to let these flowers blossom, though, aren't you, Roller Blunt? I'm on board. I only want what's best for Leeds. I couldn't give a shit, really. But it'd be mint if he, you know, it's good for us, isn't it? 40 million is too much. I agree. It's crazy. John Pepper, yes, big man. What you good? What you good? What's good? I'm all right, big man. Jack missed my super chat. Boom. I read that out. Selfie. And now I've lost my place. Fucking hell, where have I gone? I read it out, didn't I, Selfie? I'm extremely appreciative. Wobber's injured again. It's a madness, innit? He's going to be one of them players that just, like, does this forever. See my ear then get caught on Uddy. What is this wardrobe gate again? The Lord of Lurking. Wobble would be ideal if he wasn't always injured, disloyal and pretty shit. He was okay for a while. Yeah. Injured, disloyal and pretty shit's like three things that make you not, you know, not somebody you want at the club. The world's a dangerous place and you know it. Jackie, you going to go back to Selfie Super Chat? I just did, Roger Slicker. I went over it though. Somebody back me up here. Ena, the Lord of Lurking, the Silent Badger. The others call me Tim. Tim Eade. Done deal, Ena. I'm going to try to catch up here. Did Amazon hire them? I don't know. Yes, Mr. Whitesnake in the building. Get rid of Brendan Aronson. Come on. Yeah, not a bad shout. Onana, Mendy, potentially better. They paid us silly money for Kepa. That's a big flop. Snake in the house. He has appeared. The New Zealand warlord. Mr. Whitesnake getting the love he deserves. All right, Roger, all right. Yeah, I've not spoken to him for a week or so, to be fair, man. But it seems to be, his online presence seems to suggest he's all right. Can you imagine? That'd be sensational. Yes, Mr. Whitesnake, hope the weather's holding up, big man. Thanks for coming on last night. If you haven't checked it, go check it. So the flop keeper is either Kepa, De Gea, Mendy or Onana. Should we poll it? I don't know if you boys will have worked it out because I'm nearly getting on for half an hour behind here. Put that comment again, BMG. I think Augustine's in there. What was that midfielder called who went to Chelsea from Leicester? Drinkwater. It's a bidding war, Andy. Wolves know they're going down and want to be in a great financial position. They can return to. They're literally planning for the Championship, aren't they, at this point? Newcastle and Villa have to sell to stay compliant, so we players are simply assets. I'd go Fernando Torres as a flop for Chelsea. I agree, BMG. And about Drinkwater or Kante, we want a flop. We're at a flop. Silent Badger sounds like some CIA super agent, Men in Black business. I'd listen to the Silent Badger. I'd believe the Silent Badger. I love it, Mimi, yes. I'd listen to him. I'd believe in him. Adams was a twat, but it was good when fit. Yeah, he was decent. Yeah. Fuck Adams, but yes, Thomas Smith. It was the Andy who was on fire for Newcastle, then flopped. Are you having me on there? Drink water. Andy Carroll, I don't know if you're having me on there. I thought he literally explained him to every single... He's in like lower leagues now, isn't he, or something? Arsenal actually have nothing up top. I don't mind Gabriel Jesus. Nicholas. Get that fucking Pepe back. Pepe, yeah, there he is. Yeah, JT. What about that defender that used to play for Liverpool? Used to turn his full body to pass the ball. Think his name might have been Mangala. Yes, Brett. That was mentally had the turning circle of a bus, didn't he? Seth Johnson, yeah, was a flop, to be fair, BMG, yeah. We were shit then as well, you know, we were just buying everybody, weren't we, at that point? Oh, fucking hell. That's horrendous, Mr. Whitesnake. Pepe's a good one, BMG. That was big money. Onana for a keeper was in Champions League final, then moves to Scum, and look how that went. It killed his career. Eden Hazard to Real Madrid's a good one, MVG. Real good one. I think that defines him as a flop, though, Roger Slicker. Not to my knowledge, MVG. No, I think Eden Hazard's a good one. And that's a shame, that one. Not that I'm bothered, but because he was so minute in the Prem, wasn't he? No game is individually vital. Only the points total at the end of the season. Gates up 78 RPM. That's the shit that Dr. Farker believes as well. He says what he believes, does the bloke. After say being at the game, that goal from Metro, what a fucking moment that was. Absolutely, I mean, you can't relive them. It's they don't feel like anything at the time. It's just like fuck. And you're just like shit, and then you're just buzzing for the rest of the week. It's insane how we overrate our players. What's Harry Gray? 200 million of potential. It's crazy, dude. And English players get inflated hugely as well. I did not MVG. I don't know about Mingy. For almost 30 million way back then. I know it's mental. Laurent Blanc, I want to know how much they paid for him. McTominay in Italy's killing it, innit, to be fair. Yeah, to be fair, they've got... Around that time, they weren't doing too bad, were they, in terms of payment? They were getting, like, decent... That'll have been, like... Will that been around, like, company time? JK is a classic... Is not a classic flop. He never played, which is different to playing and being shit. Maybe on the bench. BMG's called it. He's not having it. Fair dues. McLaren as a manager. You could have a few... Any at Man U managers, really, couldn't you? Ollie at the wheel, yes. Paul Pogba, I think that's a harsh one, Brett, me. I don't actually think you were that bad. And they were shit. Since Red Nose, yeah, the hell of a red nose. Wanna bet, Jack? I guarantee if Tanaka and Nonto played for Barcelona, Liverpool, Man City, Real Madrid or PSG, we'd soon see both of them transform into £80 million. Yeah, that's a different thing, though, isn't it, AO? Obviously, if any player plays for... But if they were playing for Real Madrid, do you think Tanaka and Nonto go play for Barcelona, Liverpool, Man City, Real Madrid or PSG? But we won't play them. I don't think Farker's holding them back from Barcelona, Man City, Real Madrid, Liverpool and PSG. I'll take your point, but everybody that plays for them teams are £80 million players. 20 million and Nonto would be gone. I agree, the unambiguous. Okafor is better than Nonto and will prove it next season once Farker has finished his magic on him. Yeah, I know everybody says it, but it's seeing him every day in training and stuff, innit? And he must know the player that's in there, and he's obviously trying to bring it out of him, innit? And, you know, who's to say what? And sometimes it takes players a little bit of time just to get used to stuff. Wilkinson, when he went to Sunderland manager, Roller Blunt, Brett will be able to tell you more on that. I'd be reluctant to put Wilkinson in there. Ideally, we keep Nonto and Tanaka, but successful teams need regular-ish churn, even, of good players. It is a sign of being decent as well, isn't it, BMG, when players are coming in? Nonto would not be an £80 million player if he went to Barcelona. I like him, but he played in a dominant championship team and wasn't a standout. That's where I'm at, Thomas Smith. If anybody played for Barcelona, there'd be an £80 million player, but he wouldn't play for him. Harsh on Wilco. That's where I'm feeling BMG. Yeah, we can't. Wilco, I've got too much respect for Wilco. I don't know why I'm calling him Wilco, but I'm enjoying it. Nonto got 15 goal and assist, not starting most games. For me, the idea he had a not good season is a bit of a fallacy. That is also a good shout, Steve Morrison. And I spent a fair bit of time. I don't think Thomas Smith, to be fair, there is saying it. And the standout is like Somerville. I think we all anticipated. I don't want to talk for Thomas Smith. I'm sure he can have his own conversation with me because I think you're both barking up the same tree. But I actually advocated for him last season. I just think we got rid of Somerville and then hoped or thought Nonto would take the shine. Do you know what I mean? I rate Nonto, me. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Phillips, Bopper. I've said Phillips. I don't think that's a bad shout at all. What successful-ish team would sign either? It's also a good shout. RPM. Tanaka far more valuable to us than Willie. I don't know, I mean, possibly, but I just think everybody's got a proper hard-on for Tanaka. BMG, there's a transfer rumour on Phillips. Can't remember who he's linked. Them transfer rumours never stopped, do they? Is that Hoover coming through loud and clear, guys? More valuable to us than... You got Hoover on full whack. The contract masters, Mingy. Emery could be a flop manager with Arsenal. Again, BMG, that's a good shout, but it's so harsh on Emery, isn't it, that? Because he were doomed, wasn't he? And everybody used to take piss out of him and everything. He were up against it. And Emery's proved his worth. I know that's what it's about. You can go to a club and be a flop. Mrs. Whitesnake and Arya say hello. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Thomas Smith. I'm on board, big man. No, I know, Roller, but nobody's saying you don't like Wilkinson. Do not fear. Who's missed Drinkwater? How much did they pay for Drinkwater? I still want to know how much they paid. If I could catch them on comments, I'd find out how much they paid for Steve Sidwell, because that is a flop. We could do the reverse. That's what I mean. Mittermom, 100% BMG. Paid a pence for and got, unbelievable results out of. DCL. There's a few out there, Jack, creators that would be more than happy to do a show. Most of them can be contacted on here and Instagram. Yeah, I'll have to start because I've upped the game recently. We've been live a bit more. Nobody can argue with me. I've been trying. Just finding time. Pogba was actually okay for Man United, just seeing a flop because of his price tag and he was cocky, black lad. I agree, Steve Morrison, yeah. I don't know about the black lad bit, 'cause I just think any of them that are cocky, but I agree. He was one of the better players in that, and there was shit, and he actually had some decent moments for him, so... Drinkwater is a great shout for the floppies. Comparing Tanaka and Gruev in a playing debate, surely is like comparing a forward and a back in. It depends how Farke wants to play. We're not comparing the two, though. Or are you on about when I said... Because they don't play in the same position. Ian Rush flopped for Juve. How much did they pay? Had a few moments. It was gash, Steve. I don't think he would gash. I don't care if Pogba gets in there because I don't feel anything for him. Ena spreading the love. Good analogy on Tanaka and Gruev. Could you say Woodgate to Madrid was a flop? Wasn't an own goal and a red card on his debut? Went shit after. I think that's a good shout. How much did they pay for Woodgate? Woodgate was so mint for us as well. I used to love him. If JSL is 40 mil player, it's a no-brainer. Nonto and Tanaka are 50 million plus players. No, Brett. Beckham did plenty, didn't he, for Real Madrid? And Owen's record at Real Madrid gets really downplayed. It's only because R9 got in the team. He were banging goals in initially, and then R9 got in the team. I'm not. Are you on about me here, guys? When did I compare the two? What's gone on here? Laurent Blanc, Robert Blanc. Yeah, it's Laurent Blanc. Yeah, Robert Blanc. Get in, Robert Blanche. I love it. Fucking Robert Blanc. Laurent Blanc. Oh no, I've given myself hiccups. We need another poll, guys. We've had 70 votes on that motherfucker. DCL's won on 60%. I'll give myself fucking hiccups. We need another poll, guys. Oh no. Dick Laurent is dead. I don't expect you to know the reference. Richard Laurent. I don't. MVG. I'm trying to get rid of these fucking hiccups. Something mad I saw earlier that we was thinking about 50 million plus from Saudi bid for DCL. Honestly, if they slapped 65 million, it'd be hard not to say no. He'd sell him for that money, but they aren't coming in for DCL with that. It's fucking mental. Wouldn't even make sense for them. It's not a big enough pull, is it? Oh, fucking hell. We'll have to do the opposites, BMG. Yeah, he didn't fail. Brett and Beckham flopped after leaving Liverpool and Man United and lost their form. Zed's dead. It's abandoning it. Yeah. Well, he's part of the get 50% right and you're doing all right. I'm going to try to get rid of these hiccups, catch up on comments. Zed's dead. It's abandoned. It Zed's dead. Yeah, electronic duo. I think I know a couple of Zed's dead tracks. They're mad decent. Bet you don't know who I'm on about there, to be fair. I bet I'm on about a different Zed's dead here. Yep, unbelievable signing that, though. Unbelievable, yeah. Rutter's a good signing. Rodrigo want a bad signing. Fucking hell. Yeah, 50% Steve again, you know. 50% godly. 50% turgid. Whatever gets him to it, though. Oh, is it a film Zed's dead? They're a group as well, so. Norwich, yes, indeed. Yes, BMG. Is that far behind him? Fucking hell. Fourth in Prem top goal scorers. We couldn't buy that for less than, what, 100 million? Agreed, Roller Blunt. It's a sensational signing. Somerville going to Spurs. You apparently made a last ditch. A surprising. Fucking hell. You never know, do you, BMG? With any of it. It's wild that Metcher has 5 goals in 600 minutes. He's just a great finisher, and Aronson has the same number of goals and assists as Saka with less minutes played. Yes, Matt Leeds. What are you doing tomorrow, Matt Leeds? Daly was a tremendous flop. To be fair, Daly, the Tom Daly. Is it Tom Daly, the diver? It's mental money back then, yeah. Was DePaul ever actually on the Ray Diamond? Rafinha would have been fire. Though it sounds like we never could have had both. Yeah, I don't... DePaul, where this shit comes from. Waiting on a decision on the flop goalkeeper. I need to catch up here. Perry's in for me. That's my Paulie. I'm going to whack that up. Who's better? No bias. Who's better? No bias. DCL or Watkins. I was going to put my hiccups, but I don't want to spew the... I don't want to spew the watching the poll. Barthez is your flop. Get Barthez in there. I kind of liked Barthez. Just for being the fucking maniac. I look back at Barthez like fondly. Not because he played for Man United. I hated him. But I just mean like it's a fond... You know, he had them moments like against West Ham when Di Canio scored and stuff. It's mint stuff, and he's just got his hand up. It just, yeah, I don't know. I miss a few characters like that. I think we'll keep Amps Rollerblunt. I think he's found his home. I don't think he'll go anywhere. Fosbury, bench option, BMG. Some kind of record, 70 minutes. You haven't used... I ain't got a chance, big man. And this big book of random trivia. That'd sell well, wouldn't it, to be fair? David James was a donkey. He had some good moments in the day. He's a good character as well, David James. In football, I don't know about now. If he gets 20 goals, we are staying up big style. And you know it, War Piglet. Get up. MVG, you could use the money to finally get Joe Depp's scoreboards here on Monday night. Monday night, I'm getting a fucking scoreboard. I swear to God. Blind Gate will return if you change the room. Yes, indeed. Mr. Whitesnake, I might get it painted on the back wall. Plenty of flops, but it's only forwards or keepers that stick in my mind. Yeah, well, they're the best ones out there. Try a recap. We need a keeper. Di Maria, Sanchez, Sancho, Bertels, Barnes, Drinkwater, Torres, Forlan, Pogba, Daly, JK, who have I missed? Dignity. Yes, Philip Anderson, what's good, man? Loving it, big man. Loving the season thus far. It was a disaster. Fucking hell. It was a disaster. And he's so bad. And the fact he didn't even last that long in net proves how bad he was. Do you know what I mean? Forest missed a pen. They'd gone up the other end and scored OG. Forest losing 1-0. Forest is shit, man. I hope they go down me. Yeah, he's probably got to get in there. I don't know how much they paid, though, but... Oh, Nana can go in there for me. This window... I only think we'll bring... I think we'll be lucky if we bring another one in, to be honest. I don't go on TikTok, Roger Slicker. Don't mean you can't see your TikToks. The fucking... You know, I want to sign a petition for keep your TikToks on TikTok. Because I go on Instagram for about 2 minutes a day. I do spend a bit of time on Twitter. But keep your TikToks on TikTok. Woodgate scored an ONG and got sent off on his Madrid debut, didn't he? Yeah, something mental happened on his debut. It's terrible for him. Pepe, Arsenal, Kepa Kepa or Pepe, to be fair. What would be the opposite of a wet dream, Ming? Just out of interest. He'd refuse to be in the squad. That's a good shout. 1. Philip Anderson. And I'd be happy if we brought another one in, to be honest. Yeah, it's mint, that though. I can't believe we got away with that though. And then with that big smoker, wasn't it? Or were it him? I can't remember if it was that Sar guy, that smoker or not, when he refused to come off and he just went along with it and was just like, yeah, it's fine, don't come on. It can't have been that smoker guy because he were well aggressive. He'd have dragged him off. Try to think who came in after him. Chelsea actually paid more for Kepa than Liverpool for Alisson in the same summer. Doesn't make sense. Still doesn't. Mental, innit? Mental. Pepe's a good shout. Kepa's a good shout. I'm happy to get Onana in there, but Philip Anderson hoping for 2 more. 2 would be mint. I think realistically we'll get 1. I think that's relatively hopeful. Yes, indeed, MVG. Fucking these hiccups, man. Somebody needs to scare me. I forget that George Clooney played for Real Madrid. I did not know that, MVG. Drinkwater and Alexis Sanchez are the 2 best calls so far. How much did they pay for Drinkwater? Yeah, can you imagine? They're not best of fans at the best of times, are they, though, when somebody's a bit shit? But would get 1 mint player. He really will. Yeah, £500 now would be mansion style, wouldn't it? Oh, who's George Clooney? What about the Pope? He's overrated. Imagine World Cup final, 1-0, Spain, DCL, 90+3. The big man at the back post. I hope so, Philip Anderson. Yeah, if I've been clicking on him. I'm just a bit behind, big man. Fastest fingers in the west. North, east, south, west. Doesn't it have the fastest fingers in the south? I agree, BMG. Philip Anderson doesn't deserve these pelters. Yes, Jason Ellis. Evening all. Balotelli was a flop at City. No, he won't. Won up league, mate. Rodgers. I think Balotelli's an awful shout at Man City. Shit, have I had 3 already? He fucking ripped it up. He didn't rip it up. He got plenty of goals and he won up league in last minute. And he was a legend. Balotelli maybe to Liverpool, but not to Man City. Yeah, the smashing to Man United, I know, and the why always me. He scored some big goals for him. 40 million is ludicrous. I was supping San Miguel, Philip, but now I'm on Budweiser. So when you commented out it was San Miguel. It's Mr. Whitesnake in the building. So scandalous. That'd be, how fucking mint would that be? Silent S off to Man United. I think it's pretty rare for a shit team to sign 1 player in Jan that goes on to save them. Palace might be in trouble. I think we could finish above them. If we keep going as we are... Oh, is this from last night? Is this the joke last night? Yes, indeed. Mangala was Man City. Yes, he was, yeah. Is it Traore or something? Who was the blonde Liverpool forward who was flying but then went to Chelsea, did his leg and never really came back? Is it Torres that did his leg? I mean, I mentioned Torres right at Starks. Torres is one of the biggest flops ever. I feel like that might be another one. I mean, he was blonde, to be fair, but I'm rattling through them too quick now, so I don't know what we're on about here. Oh, the joke. Yeah, the jokes, yeah. Can't think who the Andy was for Newcastle, but it was a scoring machine for Newcastle and he flopped when he moved to Liverpool. Andy Carroll. They don't call me Jack, Mr. Whitesnake. What's going on here? Tough crowd, Jack. Fashion. Fashnu. And Anana, Sancho, Sanchez, Barnes, Brolin, JK, Drinkwater, Di Maria, Torres, Pepe, Forlan, Daly, Birtles are the ones I can remember. The bench is going to be hot as well. Andy Carroll. Everybody wants Andy Carroll in. Poor lad. I was kind of like Andy Carroll. Big dumbo, big dumb fucker. He's just a shit Andy Carroll. Roy Hodgson can be manager. Ten Hag can be manager. Ten Hag's not even been worst Man United manager though, has he? There's been worse. I tell you who is a flop. Who was that young lad? It wasn't Angry Mad Gav. It wasn't AMG, but he had an abbreviated name. And he went to Chelsea and he was meant to be like, I think it was after Mourinho. What were he called? And he flopped like a motherfucker, didn't he? If Peru was playing for Real Madrid, he'd be worth 80 million. Agreed. Ten Hag's a contender. Who's that gadget though that I'm on about? If Tanaka and Nonto played for Barca or Liverpool, neither team would be winning anything. I kind of think that's true as well. Okafor's taller than Nonto, and you know it, Dick Dastardly. How did Rodriguez's career go after leaving Leeds? Another Leeds player in for unfair abuse. Rodrigo. I need you to hold on. What, the blind eyes, the blank eyes, the dead behind the eyes? The argument against Nonto is that he's never nailed down a starting spot after being at the club for quite a few years. Yeah. Through several different managers as well, but he's still a young man. Baptiste was another massive flop at Arsenal, that is true. What a beast he was as well. I thought he was going to be one of them big monsters, like a Drogba monster. Hazard. Cut out the Hoover, Nikita Love, innit? She's cut it off now. That's comment at night, MVG. That'd be an horrendous move, that though, wouldn't it, BMG for him? Baptiste with that big monster, wasn't he? Up top. If I catch up with comments, I'll bring Baptiste in, because I'm doing all right here. I always remember Roy Keane saying, don't get carried away with Nonto. As Roy been... I don't remember him saying that, to be fair. Fashnu. I like our players, but don't go silly with the overrating and thinking they could play for really big clubs. Rafinha did, but we ain't got no Rafinhas. I agree, RPM all day. He was a Brazilian who was a beast in Spain, but flopped when he got to Arsenal. It's that massive... He were like a fucking... He looked like Anthony Joshua or something. He was like a right monster. Then he was cack. Oh, was it? Ah, shit, BMG, sorry. Poor Fashnu though, fucking hell. Mark Hughes going to Barca was a disaster. The press was saying he's a rugby player. That's mad. I didn't know he were a disaster. Wouldn't surprise me though, to be fair. How old were he? No, we were not on about you, just the fan base, especially in other chats. They compared Tanaka and Gruever a real lot. Yeah, well, I would try not to. I do speak about them both in the same sentence because people seem to put Tanaka in like Gruever's position, and he's nowhere near playing They are not playing the same role. They're not. It's certainly not like for like. Roger Slicker taking his own. Roger Slicker, who voted no, I presume that's in the World Cup bias. DCL's currently got 68% with 31 votes. Hughes to Barca's getting the love from BMG. If they're double and tripling voting, they better be doubling and tripling them views, big man. Gary Neville as manager. Yes, man, Gary Neville's in. 100%. Fucking get in. I'm actually delighted about that as well. Get that bastard in as manager. That's a mint shout, is that, man? Get up. Pretty sure DCL could have gone to Saudi and got a lot more than signing for us. The lad wants Premier League football, and our club is a zillionaire from skate modelling anyway. You know it. RPM, I took piss out of him a little bit for that as well back in the day, and now I'm like, love you, man. Love you, DCL. Jack, how did 5-a-side go last night? What happens if only 9 or 11 turn up? If 11 turn up, that's never happened. It has been where 9's turned up. And we do 30 minutes with 4 on one side, 30 minutes with 4 on the other side. But we won, mate. We always win. 5-minute team, we're winning, mate. Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction. Zed dead. Baby. Understood. I've actually seen Pulp Fiction, but I can't remember that bit. You never mess all up, Mr. Whitesnake. It's all in the delivery, mate. Who was the Norwich manager that went to Everton and tanked? I thought you were going to say it was the Norwich manager that came up from Championship and tanked. About the time we won the league, Mike Walker. Back in some days. As much as I don't want risking DCL playing for England, he could easily get a call up. I think, well, I don't know, I've just said at the start that I don't think he will, so. I'll drop you a message tomorrow morning, Matt. I've got the day off tomorrow, but I do have stuff to do. But if you're free, either early morning or I'll message you. We'll go live tomorrow, big man. You should be able to sort something. Top man. He might not be here now because I'm behind, but Silver Fox, not Silver Steve. Fucking hell, Bielsa was Orta. That's what I mean. Can't, he's given me some moments as Orta. Ming's not having none of it. Hypothetical, playing devil's advocate, it's not like you. How much could Leeds sell Metcha and DCL for? Okay, now. A lot of clubs would have DCL, but I think he'd be overpriced. DCL Superbite, I think he'd be overpriced to points where clubs wouldn't pay it for him. But I think whoever has him wants him fit and wants decent money for him. And I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it does to me. DCL super bias. Even if I voted the other way, it'd still be an example of bias. That brings the vote back though, doesn't it? Rutter was the wrong signing at the wrong time, but turned out decent. Rodrigo, for the money at his age, was a poor signing when Watkins was basically in the door. That is very true, Steve Morrison. Rutter was I'd argue to be the right signing at the wrong time. That's only the way I'd change that. Because I think Rutter ended up being the right signing. And I think Rutter was a good signing. And if we'd have carrying on, Rutter would have been like he's at Brighton. I don't think he's a world beater at Brighton, but that's kind of where we'd have been at had we have stayed up, and we'd have had Rutter already come into the side. So, different players, BMG, yes, certainly. Watkins was consistent. DCL is having the best season of his career. With us, take your pick. Fair dues, AO, yeah. Everyone going to say DCL, they're Leeds fans. I know, but that's why there's no, no bias. Try not to be biased about it. But I'm glad DCL's dicking it. 30 million for DCL. I think that's what I mean. I want a reason to really care about international football again. Agreed, MVG. Piss the tune, Jack. To be fair, I'm doing all right, you know. And I've had a couple of beers and boozer and all, but I feel I'm all right. Although I feel one coming on now. I can't believe I've been live an hour and 50, boys. It doesn't feel like that. Was Edgar Davids a flop at Spurs? See, that hurts my feelings because I used to love Edgar Davids when I was a kid just because of glasses. I'm sure everybody did. But that made him, like, unbelievably... Karen's window. I love it, Mr. Whitesnake. That made him, like, unbelievably famous, didn't it? I know he was mint when he Edgar Davids, but... Yeah. Probably was. I don't know how much they paid for him, though, but that might not be a bad shout. I can't put Edgar Davids in on my watch, but if he gets in there, he's in there. DCL 30 million, Metcha 10 million to 12 million. For context, Peru 7 to 8 million. Yeah, it's proper tricky, really. But I think that's probably about right. 78 RPM. We need that Lone Ranger. Definitely, he can play whenever he wants. He plays where he wants. With hindsight, if DCL flatters to deceives us sometimes. DCL is in 100 degrees of heat in World Cup. Could be a fucking... He's not flattering to deceive. MVG, was that a joke, Mr. Whitesnake? Hold on, loading Jack settings. I got there with that. I'm all right with Blind Gate. I'm on top of it. Thomas Brolin is up there with the biggest flops. Yeah, he's been called for a few times. Tony Adams. Tony Adams, I'm so sorry, dude. Tony Andrews, fucking Tony Adams. Oh. Egder flopped the moment he signed for Spurs and he should have signed for a better club. Well, that's a shame. He's going to make his way in there, but... Tony Adams in there. Egder, the glassed man. I've lost it now. It's hit me now. Egder, the glassed man. That is true, Steve, yeah. So, shout out to Steve. The opposite of a wet dream is a dry dream, a dream which contains no liquids. Can you describe a dry dream to me? Because all mine are wet. Signature accessories. Oh my God, MVG, that's a right call. That is a right call. 100%. Nasri would get in there with that fucking stupid... whatever it used to be called. What it used to be called. Not a gooch. I want to call it a gooch. But that's a mint one. Write that one down for us, BMG. Write that one down. Edgar Davids. Socrates headband. Checks helmets. Mental. As I say, Nasri's thing that he started the trend of. Who else accessorised? Was it Fowler that used to put that thing on his nose? I'd probably been out sniff all weekend, but he used to put that thing on his nose, didn't he? That was like an accessory. When Danny Blind took over the Dutch national team manager's job, Danny Blind, he picked his son Daley Blind. It was the blind leading the blind. BMG, get up. Max Romeo, Wet Dreams, MVG. Aren't they all helmets, Ming? Maybe Leeds players get a pass. Yeah, they're all helmets, mate. They paid 35 million for Drinkwater. He's in there, mate. That is mental. If anyone doubts our under-21s are bad, we can't find a third or fourth place backup. 3 or 9 from them. It's not that they're bad. They'll all be mint youngsters, won't they? But the step up's so enormous. That's the step up. Never mind this Championship to Premier League stuff. If you're 27, you're playing and you're winning the league and Championship, you should be able to compete at some level in centre mid in the Premier League just by putting yourself about and being the guy about town, the Johnny Billy Bollocks. The under-21s stepping up, because the team steps up with them, don't they? So anybody we had last year that couldn't get in our team in the Championship and they're 19-20, they're not going to get it in Premier League, are they? So, because they'd be in the Championship side. By helmet, do you mean dickhead? We've done the Wanker 11. Helmet can just be Dumbo, can't it? But yeah, helmet. Any of us couch potato keyboard warriors ever played paddle or pickleball? Fastest growing sports. I don't know what pickleball is, but I've not played paddle. But I'd be partial to a bash because I love a bit of badminton. So one finger typing. That's because that's the mastery in it, where you can like pump and type. Balotelli had an indoor firework party and nearly burned down the block. Madhead. Balotelli's the man. They're like throwing like play darts on it under 21s and stuff. He's a fucking nutter. Apparently he pulled into a prison. He was driving past the prison and it opened up. The doors opened up and he pulled in just to see what it just pulled in. My suggestion was the iconic accessories 11. I was just playing off the double meaning of helmet when Ming mentioned it. A helmet. We can make some at a helmet. Torres has had the shout, CB. Welcome. There's only one finger typing. But accessories 11's a mint one. Impact subs a mint one, Brett. I think that's a mint one. Paul BMG's got his workout cut out for him here. Bloke's an absolute fucking legend. Shout out to BMG for no reason at all, even though he knows the reasons. But that is mental. The amount of work BMG's put into these is tremendous. Huge shout out to BMG. The way Scum dissected City, Leeds would have been ripped a new one. Well, did you watch that game, Roger Slicker? Fashnu, Paul lad. Love it, Ming. David Fairclough. Unfortunately, oh my God, that's what I'm on about. Yeah, man. Yes, MVG. He don't beat Gary Neville now that I've got to it, but Andre Villas-Boas, that was bad, wasn't it? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's the super sub, innit? But we're not doing the super subs this week. We need to get this. We need to get the overpriced. Brett, we should put that one on the list for next week. I agree, Brett. Who's better? No bias. Your poll results probably contains bias. It's biased. No doubt about that, brother. We're on 76 likes, guys. Smash a like for us. AVB, that's that. I knew it was like a translation. Yes, indeed. What's the cost of that full team? Fucking hell. We'll do that in that because I'm genuinely for BMG because he's been such a, not for BMG, but just, well, it is for him, but also for me. I've loved this 11. It's been a lovely segment in the Underlaps life, hasn't it? Where we've done these 11s like on the under. Is the BMG 11s on the overlap to my underlap? I think it might be. I think he's like, I'm out wide and BMG's piling forward like Roberto Carlos style. I'm cutting inside trying to make something happen and Carlos is just getting forward. So shout out to BMG again. But I'm going to basically do, with the 11s, I'm going to do like, they have to be confirmed on the underlap. And then I'm going to do videos on each of the 11s and like post them. So I'll do the full cost of... I'm going to write that down, just remember that because I've had a couple of beers. Full cost of teams in the 11s. I'll do one a week. That's what I'll do. And I'll post them. We'll pick a day and I'll post them every, say, Tuesday or whatever. Shout out to BMG. I can't think of the Chelsea flop with initials that you mentioned, Jack. It's AVB. I just meant the manager guy that was shite. Yeah, he was shit. He draws them in. He's a magnet. Avram Grant, he won fucking... Was he the one that won Champions League or did he get into the final or something? Tor Andre Flo. Flo were alright, wasn't he? To be fair, I thought Flo were alright. There's too many twos going on here. Because there's who was that Batman guy? I know there's been a few, but the first nosebreaker. Shevchenko flopped at Chelsea. He did, to be fair, AO. Yes, he did. Which is a shame, because I actually used to like Shevchenko in the AC Milan days. I used to like AC Milan. AC Milan and Roma, like the Totti days. I know Totti was a bit of a wanker, but it was mint money. Only scored world is 100% BMG. There's been some REIT suggestions, big man. Mimi, no school run it morning, Jack. Can we make some sick beats tonight over on JackCity? Possibly, Mimi. We need to run to the shop and get myself a pizza or something, because I've not had out to eat since I got home from work. So they might, but I ain't ruling it out. I just remember Neville watching Nonto against Villa and thinking Neville might have needed to go to the toilet. I know, well, he was on about him, wasn't he? Saying that he's like playing at a different level and stuff. And I do believe that. That's what I mean with Nonto. He's definitely got something in the tank, hasn't he? There's a vid of players who only score worldies on the 2-guy one. Commentator does a crazy voice crack, which is hilarious. I feel like we've spoke about 2-guy, haven't we, before? Yes, Michael Graham, what's good? Yes, top man, caught alive, half pissed, but I'm here, lad. Yeets up, big man. We're both there. Appreciate you, big man. Appreciate you, brother. Coutinho, yes, indeed. Coutinho's, you can go in there. Smash a like, redeem thyself, and subscribe. Thursday, the Underlap, and you know it. Yes, War Piglet. Smash a like. If you don't smash a like, you're a fucking weasel. Steve Morrison, do you think Tanaka is like for like with anyone in the squad? He's not the same type of player, but I think the position in the team he's competing for is Aronson's. Steve Morrison's knocked it out of the park, mate. And he's not the same type of player to Aronson for certain. But that is the position he's competing with, yeah. That's how fluid the current formation, if you want to call it a formation, is, in my opinion. We get so much done during games, and Aronson does so many different things. He's so capable of different things. I've said it a million times. I'll say it a million more times. Tanaka's probably the best footballer of the lot of them, really. Probably better than Stack, better than Longstaff, better than Ampadu, better than Gruev, better than Aronson. I've no doubt at football, if we're just knocking ball about. But in terms of like winning your games and stuff and committing to a style of play or, you know, competing in football games, and this is not a knock on Tanaka. It's just when you get a few players doing a few roles, he might be I think when you're technically good, you have to be so much better than others. You have to be so much better. I saw a thing actually with Pep Guardiola talking about Messi, which obviously is the best player in the world that's ever lived. And I'm not going to say my opinion, even though it is in my opinion that, but I'm just going to say it as a statement, as a fact. He's on about the fact he also, and I think he's actually having a go at that Jerky guy, whatever he's called, Serky, whatever, like subliminally, because he does a lot of fancy stuff, but then he's not getting in areas that Messi's getting in, and he don't play, you know, he's playing a different game. Messi's basics. He never loses the ball, never takes a bad touch, never plays a poor pass, never picks the wrong pass, but that's slightly different. I'm not comparing Messi to Aronson by fucking any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, it does does everything brilliantly, and then goes and beats 4 or 5 players. Then you just go, well, you're the best player in the world then. It's all the basics that are brilliant that build you up into that. And that's not that Tanaka is not that. But when you're asking for many, you know, a lot of things, we're winning games, and until you start losing games, then you go, right, we need a bit, or until we stop creating chances, or you think we need to change something up. So, Jack, did you get up to date with the popcorn chat back and forth? It was getting tasty from last night's chat with Art 101. Dobbed me in. What do you mean he dobbed you in? I didn't, to be fair, I put the popcorn in the thing, Roger Slick. I got in late last night. I like, fucking... No, I didn't. I'll catch up. I think that Wonder Carlos free kick was only one of very few. Yeah, his free kick ratio is not even good, you know. Yes, I'd say so. Get him in there. Hazard's a good shout, I think. I mean, it'll be a long time before we see a free kick like Carlos again. No piss stop for Jack yet, big lad. Doing well, mate. I'm growing in the industry, aren't I? I don't want rushing there. I can't handle it. But it was shit. Steve, I think Aronson has found a new role. He's kind of 8, and he's probably competing with Tanaka now, I reckon, yeah. Step aside. DCL, absolute baller, Michael Graham, and you know it, mate. Banana. Needs to see DCL make it through a season uninjured to remove the fragile label. You can get rid of it pretty quick, though, Arctane, number 1. He sort of mentioned that himself. You do get sort of labelled with this nonsense, don't you? Like, it's not necessarily nonsense, to be fair. He has been injury prone over his career, but you do get, once you get labelled with it, it's hard to shake it, and he has mentioned that himself, so bend it like Carl. To be fair, Beckham's ratio wasn't great. I remember Ian Hart have a better ratio. Let's be fair, Rutter would be in our squad and start a lot if we had him. Yes, he would. RPM, yes, indeed. DCL might end up being a bit like Welbeck, who was kind of written off due to persistent injury, but has been quietly lighting it up for Brighton for quite a few seasons without ever being sought after. Yes, indeed, BMG. And that I remember me and Joe actually talking at the start of the season about Welbeck, and he got a few pelters about Welbeck. Like, you take Welbeck all day. Fucking, it's been mint for him. Like you say, like, you know, he's not particularly. I don't know because I don't follow him like the same. But I think they can, like, you get injured at a team like Man United, or, I mean, Man United have been shit previously, but you get injured at a team like Man United, or was it Arsenal Welbeck went to? You get injured at them teams, you struggle to get back into the side. You need to have that relentless centre forward or the relentless centre back. If you're constantly injured and you're not the best player at the club, then you don't start games, do you? You don't come straight back into the squad. Whereas we sort of, we're in that position where we can look after players a little bit more. It's like, if you're running on a bit of a niggle, it's like, well, let's not risk you. Let's get you back to 100% and we'll go again with you, sort of thing. And then it's up to them, really, to stay fit and play through a bit of pain. Edgar David's been ruled out of the team. Thank you, BMJ. I appreciate you, brother. Yes, I've been to Vegas and New York. Going back to Drinkwater, 35 million in 2016 was nuts. Needed absolutely fuck all. Yeah, he's Virgin on skipper. Isak's looking good for next year's team. Fucking get up, Ming. Again, if he comes back from his injury, which that's what gets him in. Because if he comes back from his injury and doesn't play and carries on the way he's playing, he's in. Somerville to Spurs, 25 mil. Madness. I think Somerville deserves to stay in Premier League, though. If they lose Paqueta and Somerville, though, I mean, I don't know how integral Somerville is for West Ham, to be fair, but they're fucked. Snood. Yes, indeed, MVG. That's what it was called, wasn't it? The Snood. I kind of liked the Snood. I never wore one, but I didn't mind it. Really, JT, that's mad. I saw it yesterday and today, like, bubbling up, but wasn't Edgar Davids almost registered blind? Ridsdale wanted him. I don't even registered blind, but nose tape, yes, I knew it was Robbie Fowler, MVG, yes. Controversial, but if we had not paid up Paddy's contract early, we would not be panicking about needing cover. 78 RPM. Also, worth mentioning, just because I'm kind of on board with that RPM, we maybe wouldn't have brought a couple of players in, or we wouldn't have money to, you know, like the loanee that we brought in. And so I don't know the ins and outs of it enough. Jimenez, Ed Cushion, the Gaza mask. I give the mask to Gaza, BMG. Yes, indeed. Tunes make you breathe better, and you know it. So we'll put tunes on later on, don't we? That was a joke. I know, I get the joke. Under 21's got beat 3-0 tonight. Understood. That's one of the worst opinions I've ever heard, says Steve Morrison about RPM. Paddy divides the fan base. Few players have worn the face mask. Yes, BMG. But I can't name any either. But I do know, because I know there's been like a couple, I think a Chelsea player quite recently. But I'm up for Gaza. Alice Bands. Yes, Mark Bradley, what's good, big man? You're always here. You always get here at like 10 o'clock, man. We appreciate you, Mark Bradley. You're a legend, mate. Does the bench count as an accessory? I don't see why not. Bamford proved he couldn't do it in the Prem at 33. But could with the blunts in the Championship. I can't believe we still talk about Bamford. I'm more surprised when we still talk about Bamford, when everybody wanted Bamford out, and I used to get abused for sort of saying like Bamford's useful, and now everybody still wants to talk about him. It'd be interesting to see if we're still talking about him in like 2036. Benzema bandages on wrists. That's good. Kept wearing it after he needed to go for good luck. That's a good one, MVG. The piss has struck, you know. It's because somebody mentioned the piss. I agree, to be fair, 78 RPM. I can't help it. The Bamford bias strikes again. I can't help it, man. Nafia. He bangs goals in left, right and centre at the top. I knew you meant Mafia, Bing, by the way. Upturn collar, yes. Anything that's like it's accessorizing the look, innit? So it's like that, you know, it's iconic, innit? The Ruddock turning it down trait. What's that one? There must be a homosexual 11, but there's very few who've come out even after retirement. We just got to wait that one out, BMG. Or we'll get the future homosexuals in. We could do a future homosexual 11, couldn't we? And you can't go into a women's game or it'll just be dominated. MVG schoolboys all across the land started turning up their collars overnight. Yeah, literally, yeah. To be fair, even if if you wear a polo and it comes up, you know, if you put hoodie on and it pops up, I can't help but think about that bastard Eric. Neither Bamford or Peru would be good enough. It's a fallacy. We need cover. We need another starter to play alongside DCL. We have cover in Metcha. Steve Morrison's not having none of it. None of it. Rafinha left short, tucked up. Yes, Luke, that used to annoy me, but that were his thing. It didn't annoy me, to be fair. Luke. Rafinha's at that level where you don't really care, isn't it? Patrick Vieira rubbing Alt Vicks on his chest. Do you remember that? He used to have that. I think it was on the O2 shirt, and he'd have that big like splodge of Vicks on his chest. I remember that. I need a piss so bad, boys. I'm going to try and catch up here. Haircuts and styles. We can definitely do an 11 in haircuts. I'm going to try and catch up and I'm going to go for a quick slash, guys. Taribo West. Fucking hell, that's a throwback, innit? Antonio. Hench thighs sound like you're getting a bit hot and bothered there. Take it easy, Brett. Appreciate you, brother. Di Matteo was on golf course on a Sunday. Shevchenko's a good shout. I'm going to say, I mean, you blagged my head then. You're Leeds, and you know you are, you're Leeds. And you know it. No, it won't be on bench. That's what I mean, it gets hard. Well, you know it, Mimi, to be fair. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, big sis. I thought we did BMG, yeah. It's raining. Mum talk from Mimi, you know it. Tell kids the same. We'll wrap it up. Mr. Whitesnake, are there any indigenous wild snakes or spiders in New Zealand? Ooh. You won't feel the benefit. Or Ben Nift. I think Arondson's turnaround has been insane. Not only is he playing better, but he's doing in multiple positions. He's almost becoming a more attacking version of Dallas. There's been no turnaround. We could do a turnaround 11 and he'd be right in there. No snakes in New Zealand. I don't know if we'll need to be fair, War Piglet, but as long as Bornow's alright, he'll put Justin right back, won't he? Left back, sorry. Super sub. Let me write them down. Super sub. Because I'm going to actually try and help you here, BMG. Hella work you're putting in here. Accessories. And Honest Yours Worldies. Steve Morrison, don't mess around, mate. Snake ink grass all over the shop. We have 3 between us. My hubby has 2 girls and I have a son. We are a blended family, but they're all bloody kids. They're all my bloody kids. 2 of them was just born before I met them. Appreciated me. It's a beautiful thing. Love to hear it, my dear. Imagine if Brendy had started like this in his first season, we'd have been saying he was a bargain at 20 fucking LBMG. You're not joking, are you? He sort of started all right, didn't he? That's the madness. I actually rated him, and then he just turned to shit. Welbeck's a model professional, agreed. Ming. I feel like an argument's brewing here, boys. Jack with the big words, subliminally proud of you, lad. Thank you, Roger Sticker. Appreciate you, man. Yes, 101 Art Club. Slanty Jack. I don't know what's that mean. I'm gonna have to Google that. Slanty meaning. Used to express friendly feelings towards one companions before drinking. Slanty, mate. Appreciate you. I have picked up a granddaughter and Danny Talks Leeds call my uncle, and my wife is also always asking how the boys are going, Jack, George, etc. Love it, Mr. Whitesnake. We have cobras, puff adders, black mambas, and boom slang, which are venomous as fuck. It sounds horrendous. It's going up, Steve Morrison, just like the Whites. For the man them. No idea, programmer JD. It's just funny, innit? It's the underlap thing. He's straight in there. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to mean out, does it? I mean, it's kind of true. You know, he's not adverse to going to there. And they said going abroad. Then that's how much I hate Man United. I think it's abroad. Somerville won't keep Spurs up, says Dr. Curus. It's been saying Palace, hasn't it, all day, so fuck knows. Well, he gets about, doesn't he, RPM? Cheers, big man. Appreciate you. 78 likes. We wanted to hit 100, didn't we? But we've not done it. Gary Mabbott. Sounds like something. Sounds like you're trying to trip me up. Snake in the grass, mate. My butt. Yeah, it's mental that Mateta is saying that he wants to go though, isn't it? Like they're all fucking jumping ship there. I never liked them sock tags. War Piglet. I think they're a bit on gay side. It's not for me. We ain't got it, and part player trade talk is real straw clutching. I think it's a bit wild, me, but it depends. It depends where they think we're going with it. So Yeah, there's a bit of a thing in it about Australia. It shits me up about snakes and stuff and spiders and what have you, but they're not as widely about as I'd imagine, I don't think. Yes, Mimi, love it. Very sweet. Christ hole in the heart. Thanks for clarifying, chaps. I think, like always, we just have to wait till it's done, see if we get him. Much love and respect to Mimi. Mimi deserves the love. I'd have been happy to keep Lord Bamford for backup. I agree, Michael Graham, but you get pelters left, right, and centre for that. But I'm on board with it, mate. It's maybe because we've had a couple of beers, but I'm on board with it. To be fair, I don't mind snakes on telly, but I don't want to be anywhere near them. You know it, Mr. White Snake. My man doesn't hike. He only hikes at pub, does Mingy. What were your thoughts on New York and Vegas? Visited both last summer and loved both. Amazing. Absolutely, honestly. Absolutely loved both. It was, New York were different. Obviously, they're both different places, but I went for my brother's stag do to Vegas, which was just crazy and just like everything you'd want and just madness. But New York was so like just cool as fuck. Just super cool. I just loved it. I loved it. The medical issues 11. Could get it going on. That'd be like Ledley King would get in the medical issues 11, wouldn't he? Although he goes in injury prone as well, but that seemed like a medical thing. Yorkshire Dales, yeah, you're all right. We'll see what we're saying, Mimi. What are you doing tomorrow? New Orleans, I'd go to. I want to do a few. America's the only real place I'm up for traveling to other than like just like shitty weekends away or like, you know, going to Spain or something. I like city breaks, but I want to do quite a few. Pub. Dictionary corner, subliminal, you know it. Nostrovia. Well, found him in a fucking pub doorway, to be fair. Right, guys, my pipe's gonna burst. And we're talking about snakes, and I ain't got a fucking Scooby-Doo. That's what I mean, BMG. I think they're on key laps. If they lose Mateta, who is like a main stay of them, isn't he? I feel like you're all having me on with this hiking nonsense here. The Donald. Big shout out to Southie, who thinks I'm ignoring his super chat, even though I'm not. I give it what I thought. I thought I did anyway, but regardless. Shout out to Mimi for handing out them memberships like Santa Claus. And shout out to Ming for the super chat. I appreciate every which one of you, as you well know. I proper appreciate BMG for the efforts made over the, shout out to BMG for no reason at all. Even though now there is a reason to shout BMG out, but not that there wasn't before. But the idea is there was no reason at all. That was the joke, wasn't it? But the reality is now. I don't know what I'm saying, but BMG knows what I'm saying. So I'll be up for smashing Miami up, Peter White. Shout out to Peter White for joining us all day or night, whatever. Don't really do much on weekends, really, Jack. We're not really ones for going pubbing or clubbing. I've never thought about it as pubbing. We'll sort something out, me. We'll go live, I reckon. Shout out to Dr. Kuros, Mingy, of course, man. 78 RPM, my guy. BMG, Roger Slicker, Martin J. Cook, Steve Morrison, Mr. Whitesnake. If nobody's watched our live last night, go check it out. If my hiccups come back now, I'm going to be absolutely livid. Enar in the wings, who always thinks I'm ignoring him, even though he normally gets the last shout, doesn't it? Dot's Curious. Night, guys. Need to get some Zeds. Agreed, big man. Thursday night's basically my weekend, but yeah. 78 RPM. Shout out to BMG. Ming, Mimi, Roller Blunt, Salfie. Yeah. Nice one. Take it easy, everybody. I'm out of here. Right, see you in a bit.
Boom.